The English department is here to celebrate the winner of the English Cup.
Having this student in AP Lang last year was a great pleasure. This student's writing stood out for its thoughtfulness of analysis and persuasiveness of argument. Often, the writing served as the class exemplar. Most memorable was this student's multi-genre research paper on the role of fairy tales in developing morality in children. This writer took the reader on a wonderful journey through research in the form of letters, a dramatic scene, a recipe, newspaper articles, and more as they built the argument. The product was so wonderful that it is now being used as a model in teacher education classrooms at Miami University and the University of New Hampshire.
This student is a sophisticated thinker and writer, as well as a generous and thoughtful contributor to class discussion in AP Lit. She is passionate about writing, so much so that she plans to pursue a career in writing and publishing. In English class, her interpretation of the work we read is nuanced and sophisticated. I've lost track of the number of times I've written "wow" in all caps on her essays. As a member of the Torch staff, this student has produced pieces that reveal her empathy and her ability to connect with sources as she tells their stories. She is also a natural leader who helps many of her peers become better writers themselves through her coaching, and she is patient and kind in her guidance. I am pleased to announce, on behalf of the English department, that the winner of this year's English Cup is Katie Millard.
Yay! Congrats, Katie.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
We have many talented, creative, and hardworking students at Bexley High School, but our Art Cup winner is an especially talented, creative, and hardworking artist. She has taken many art classes, and no matter what she takes, painting, drawing, ceramics, or AP Studio, she excels. Last year, she decided, a little over a month before her portfolio was due, that she wanted to change the theme of her portfolio. She had to make more than 10 new works of art, some of which you're looking at right now, in little over a month. With any other student, I could have told them that was not a possibility, but this student didn't just create new art, she created spectacular work and earned a 5 on her AP portfolio. This year, as a mosaic student, she hasn't had time in her schedule for an art class, but she often spends her third period in my classroom painting, drawing, and working with clay. She has a quirky sense of humor, she has been incredibly helpful around the art room, she's kind and generous with her time when helping others, and as you can see, she makes beautiful artwork. She will be attending Pratt in New York next year to study art, where she will also be on the volleyball team. Please join me in congratulating Joy Hansen for this year's Art Cup.
The Rising Star is awarded annually to the senior who has made the biggest impact in the theater department over their last 4 years. However, this year's recipient has been an outstanding member and advocate for the theater department for over a decade. My first memory of this individual was at auditions for the elementary play Charlotte's Web. While other elementary students were reciting Shel Silverstein poems, this second grader performed a serious monologue about racism from the movie The Help. As I watched in awe, I thought to myself, I can't wait to see how much that talent grows. Over the years, she has performed as a cheeky gosling, a hotel maid attacked by aliens, a mischievous Greek fate, a snooty baroness, a preppy cheerleader, a 1950s teenager in love with a pop star, a not-so-evil Greek muse, a Jewish teen living through World War II, a sassy circus performer, an atypical Cinderella, a door/star/crocodile/mollusk/whatever the chorus in Peter and the Starcatcher really was, a saloon singer who wants to dance, a 1950s teenager in love with pop star again, a bold Texas heiress, a street urchin eaten by a space plant, an empathetic Amish expert, an engaged woman searching for her father, a cuckoo clock, and a sassy Southern editor. And those are just her main stage production roles. This year's winner has taken theater leadership positions off stage as well. as assistant choreographer and assistant director for many shows, as well as directing her peers in several very successful productions. She is a leader both on the Thespian board as well as a founding member of the Bexley improv team. This year's Rising Star isn't just talented and a great leader. She is a wonderful person. She's dedicated, kind, fun-loving, considerate, empathetic, compassionate, creative, and hardworking. It's been a pleasure to work with her over the past decade and watch her talent grow. And I can't wait to see what she does in the future in the musical theater department at NYU Steinhardt and beyond. It is my honor to award this year's Rising Star to Claire Martin.
It is a privilege to present the 2020 Music Cup. This very talented musician has worked incredibly hard. Her work ethic has dominated her entire performance throughout her high school career. She has had the opportunity to perform with several honors groups, including the Capital Youth Symphonic Band, the Ohio State University Honor Band, as well as most recently the OMEA, Ohio Music Education Association All-State Orchestra. The student has studied AP Music Theory. They have also performed as section leader in the marching band, as well as prison and symphonic bands. This student has also taught younger students private lessons. It is a great pleasure and a privilege to present the 2020 Music Cup to Miss Donna Brown.
I'm pleased to be presenting the Brenda Hamer Journalism Cup today to the co-editors of The Torch. Being a co-editor of The Torch this year meant leading a staff of 50 students in an effort to produce a newspaper each month that is interesting and relevant to the entire school community. The co-editors spend endless hours planning, editing, and leading their peers' decisions as part of this effort. They work tirelessly before school, after school, at lunch, and every spare moment they can find when we're preparing each issue for publication. When problems arise, they step in to solve them with patience and grace. They know they are part of an important 95-year-old Bexley tradition, and they give their all to carry on that tradition. Thanks to the leadership of this year's editors, The Torch was the only high school newspaper in the state to receive the top All-Ohio Award from the Ohio Scholastic Media Association. The editor's commitment to The Torch and its staff is outstanding. For these reasons, the names of this year's editors will join those of the past several decades on the Brenda Hamer Journalism Cup. I am delighted to be presenting the Brenda Hamer Journalism Cup to Torch co-editors Maxine Giller, Katie Millard, and Daniel Rose. Congratulations.
Salve. My name is Jackie Lund, and I'm the Latin teacher at Bexley High School. I'm honored to present this year the Latin Cup Award to an incredible Latin student of the class of 2020. This year's class of Latin seniors are outstanding in many ways. But one thing that has constantly stood out to me is how incredibly kind and helpful these students have been to me in every endeavor. Walking into my AP class of 14 seniors, I was the new one on the block. And yet within the week, I had been accepted and trusted with preparing them for an incredibly challenging exam and taking part in shaping their senior years. By the end of the first Friday, I had a slew of dinner recommendations and places to see, and I can attribute that gesture of welcoming to my seniors. I cannot ever express to you how much that meant to me. For those of you who've never experienced it, Latin is a little different than modern languages. For nouns, there are dozens of endings to learn that lead you to understand what's being said. For verbs, there are even more options. And yet, this class of seniors, many of whom were the final group to begin Latin in middle school, have mastered the plethora of endings and learned the intricacies of Roman politics. They have read Latin poetry and prose, traversed 1,200 years of Roman history, and humored me when I asked them to make togas out of toilet paper on the first day of school. To all of my seniors, thank you so much for your kindness and leadership. for making me a better teacher, and for making me laugh on a daily basis. I learned early that I could never ask you all to debate, or the daggers would come out, but the passion that you all bring to school with you every day never ceases to amaze me. To choose only one student to receive this award was extremely challenging, simply due to the overall excellence and individual strengths of this year's class. The Latin student who I'm pleased to present this year's Latin Cup Award to is not only a passionate scholar, but is an incredibly kind and caring friend. She is resilient and strong, has a wonderful sense of humor, and is one of the only 18-year-olds I could trust with a spray bottle to keep her peers in check. Over the course of distance learning, she has been one of the most regular attendees in my office hours, sometimes stopping in just to say hello or share with me how things are going, but also regularly to ask questions and continue to grow as a student despite the difficult circumstances. I wish that I had been around since her freshman year to see just how much she has grown into a fantastic young adult. I know that wherever her next steps take her, she will bring so much to her community, and we at Bexley are lucky to call her our own. I am pleased to announce that this year's Latin Cup winner is Maya Rothschild. Congratulations.
Hola, I'm Sherry Higgins.
I'm Lisa Klepper, and we're the high school
Spanish teachers. We're honored to award the Bexley High School Spanish Cup today. The Spanish Cup Award is named for Perry Kendall Smith, a longtime beloved Spanish teacher and coach at Bexley High School, who instilled a love of learning Spanish in his students. This year's recipient exemplifies the passion for the Spanish language and culture that Senor Smith demonstrated in his teaching. Straight A's and a keen cultural insight are just the beginning for this outstanding scholar. This enthusiastic student diligently uses Spanish both in and outside the classroom and is a true team player, working with other students if they need help in understanding a difficult concept.
This student comes to class each day with an ever-present cheerful countenance and positive attitude, ready to embrace whatever activities and challenges are happening that day. Second best is not a part of this person's vocabulary, as they always strive to show their strongest abilities, regardless of whether it is a practice assignment or an important assessment. This student gives it everything they've got, every single day. Additionally, this year's award winner earned the coveted seal of biliteracy. It is a difficult award to earn, as the students must show high levels of proficiency in all 4 skills. This student's strong abilities, vivid cultural insights, and boundless love for all things Spanish is a true gift, and I'm very fortunate to have had the privilege to work with him this last year. El ganador del premio de español es
Ford Cohen! Woo!
Felicidades, Ford!
Excelente, muy bien, super excelente.
Yes.
Bonjour, my name is David Cozy, French teacher at Bexley High School.
Hey, bonjour, I'm Alison Nakasako, French teacher at Bexley Middle School.
We are honored to present the Douglas Woodyard French Cup Award to an outstanding French student of the class of 2020. Without a doubt, the class of 2020 is one to be remembered for all of your great work, meaningful conversations in the classroom, and the legacy that you will leave behind. On a more personal note, thank you to all of my seniors this year for an incredible 3 years together. You've made me a better teacher. But let's get back to the French Cup recipient.
I'm lucky enough to work with students when they are first learning French and see them take their first steps with the language. While 7th and 8th grade may not be a time that many people wish to remember, I have memories of some fun times with this group of seniors. And I remember this student as a quiet but confident leader in our class. I'm pretty sure if I could be in my classroom right now, I would have samples of her projects that I've kept for the past 4 or 5 years to show future students as an example of work that is creative, thoughtful, and very carefully completed. I remember knowing she would go on to be successful in French and beyond as she moved into high school.
This student entered French 2 with big shoes to fill. As a freshman, I was impressed by her work ethic, her curiosity, her tenacity, and her humility all at the same time. She had a deep love for the French language and culture. Her work was exceptional. As a junior in French 4, she would appear shy and soft-spoken in class, but when she spoke French, she did so with grace, poise, and ease. Both in class and during our Bexley High School trip to France during spring break 2019, she took academic risks, she embraced challenges, and she approached every experience with enthusiasm. While she was in French 4, there were 2 sections, one period of French 4 in the morning and one period in the afternoon. The student happened to be in the afternoon class, and throughout the year, we would occasionally play different games to review vocabulary from earlier in the year. She was always a dominant force, and towards the end of the school year, I learned that she would confer with her peers in the morning class as to the topic of our vocabulary review game, and then she would spend her lunch period reviewing vocabulary in order to give her team the best chance of winning the ultimate prize, which was usually just a French sticker. As a senior, she has been a leader in the AP French classroom. She has been confident in her work. She has encouraged others. Her quiet voice stood out in a wonderful class of 23 students. She gave 110% of herself. And I have to say, as a dad of 2 young girls, if they grow up to be like you, I would be incredibly proud. I am pleased to announce that this year's French Cup recipient is Claire Sophie Sapp.
Félicitations.
Bravo.
Since 1957, the mathematics department has been awarding the John Schott Memorial Cup to the senior who was the best and most complete mathematics student during their time at Bexley High School. This year's recipient has mastered every advanced level math course offered at our school, from Honors Algebra 1 to AP Statistics and Multivariable Calculus. This young mathematician articulates his thinking, helps his peers, and has full conceptual understanding of the entire BHS math curriculum. He has contributed to a positive learning environment in every course and has a true passion for learning the nature of mathematics. It is my honor to announce that this year's Math Cup recipient is Daniel Rose.
Congratulations, Daniel. It's been a pleasure watching you develop into such an outstanding young man over the last 6 years that I've gotten to know you. As a 7th grader, you were understandably reserved in sharing your mathematical thinking, but it was evident that the wheels were turning and you had the capacity and the drive to do excellent work. I've so enjoyed seeing you grow up in the halls of BHS and hearing anecdotes of your contributions to your higher level math classes, but you can be most proud of the kind and thoughtful person that you've become. I'm excited to see what your future holds.
Congratulations. It's been a privilege seeing you grow in so many ways since our time in honors geometry, and not just vertically either. In honors geometry, you were consistent, talented, and willing to share your insights and help others. That's not only continued, but has grown as well. It's been a privilege working with you in our investment club, seeing you continue to share your talents with others. Whenever the OJs for the love of money will come on down the road, I'll instantly think of you turning the lights off, rubbing your hands together and shouting, "We gonna make some money." Your academic talent is rivaled by your kindness and character. You're a wonderful person, a wildly talented mathematician. Congratulations, D. Rose.
I remember you as a quiet freshman who was curious and asked very insightful questions. You were very good at explaining concepts to your peers who were confused. I've only seen you a couple times this year in the hallway, but you seem all grown up. You become a more confident, outgoing, but continue to be as considerate and caring as ever. You will do great things, and I know it. Congratulations.
Daniel, short and sweet. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. It was a real pleasure to have the opportunity to teach you. I know we all wish that all our students were just like you, it would make this job a whole lot easier. And it's also a pleasure to get to know you. You're a great kid. So just want to wish you good luck in the future. I hope you stay in touch. Come back someday and give me a fist bump. All right.
Hey, Daniel. When I stepped in for Mrs. Resnick to teach AP Stats this year, I quickly learned how talented and engaged you really are with this class. I was impressed not only with your math abilities, of course, but also with your leadership skills in the classroom. It really came out loud and clear. Congratulations to you, Daniel. You're deserving of this, and all the best to you next year.
Daniel, it was a true privilege to have you in multivariable calculus. Your work was always thorough, flawless, and a true pleasure to read. Your mathematical talent and intelligence challenged me to be a better teacher. Mathematics is under no obligation to make itself accessible or easy for us, and you demonstrate your knowledge of this with your humility every day. You have what it takes to be an authentic mathematician, and we all look forward to seeing what wonderful things you accomplish in this next stage of your life. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Daniel.
Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Mulder on behalf of the Science Department presenting the Walter English Science Cup Award. Walter English was a lifelong Bexley resident and past member of the Bexley Board of Education. In 1962, he was a member of the Franklin County Historical Society Board of Trustees that developed the idea of COSI, the Center of Science and Industry. Mr. English soon became COSI's most enthusiastic backer and eventually served many years as president and chairman of COSI, promoting science and technology in Central Ohio for children and adults. The Walter English Science Award was established here at BHS to honor outstanding senior science students. That student must have taken a minimum of 4 science classes at Bexley, possesses an inquisitive nature of science, a desire to learn, have high achievement in science classes, have excellent science process and communication skills, and be highly motivated. There are many students in this year's senior class that possess these criteria, making this decision very difficult. This year's recipient has 5 science credits in AP Biology, AP Physics 1, AP Chemistry, Honors Chemistry, and Honors Biology. Mrs. Hoke says she is one of the most brilliant science minds ever. Definitely thinks like a scientist. She is friendly, helpful, and a top scorer on most every AP Physics test this year. Mr. Logston says she possesses an inquisitive nature of science, a strong desire to learn, and has had high achievement in all of her science classes over the years. The student's enthusiasm for understanding the natural world and hard work ethic are contagious among her peers, and she always does this in a kind, caring, and respectful manner. Mrs. Gallaty says she radiates a brilliant, enthusiastic, and inquisitive intellect. This student is one of the few she has met with precocious ability to independently create innovative approaches to solve sophisticated problems. She pursued many opportunities as a lab assistant to conduct independent studies. Her own skills as an independent learner and contributor are unmatched among her peers. She participated in a summer camp for forensic anthropology, has volunteered as a physical anthropology assistant, and recently received the Buchanan Fellowship for Forensic Chemistry at Middle Tennessee State University, where she will attend in the fall. This year's recipient of the Walter English Science Cup Award is Audrey Lauerhaus. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, Bexley. On behalf of the Allied Arts Department, I would like to present this year's Outstanding Technology Student Award to someone who has made a huge impact on me. At school, the student has helped me develop curriculum, organized and set up equipment, and most importantly, provided insight into the needs of student learning technology for the first time. Outside of school, he was the chapter leader at B'nai B'rith Youth Organization and worked as a youth counsellor at the JCC where my 2 children attended. This student has taken every engineering and technology course at the high school. He's been an integral part of the Bexley robotics team for the last 4 years, and I have watched him grow from a quiet freshman with little knowledge of robotics to the captain of the team, where he demonstrated his confidence and leadership abilities on a daily basis. It is my pleasure to award the Outstanding Technology Student of the Year award to the one and only Jordan George Herman. Thank you.
Sixth period APUSH wouldn't have been the same without you, Bodhi. Your sharp wit, your incisive questions, and your sarcasm, all delivered with a twinkle in your eye, made class worthwhile. You were the kind of student that every history teacher wishes he could have an entire classroom of. I've got no doubt that you'll make us all proud in your future academic endeavors. Congratulations, Bodhi.
Bodhi, you're always a calming, humorous, and insightful presence in the classroom. Your sarcasm and wit is often timely and appreciated. I am absolutely positive that you will be successful in anything that you choose to do. Congratulations.
Bodhi, I rarely have a student who is so eager to take advantage of opportunities. You jumped on every essay contest and even attended Boy State. My favorite memory was when you emailed me from Boy State saying you were going to go rogue and wreak havoc. I could not have been more proud. Thank you for enthusiastically participating in class and making it more enjoyable for your peers and myself. Congrats, I am so proud of you.
Bodhi, I appreciate your humor and your intellect, and I was thankful to be able to work with you. I respect your compassion for others and also for the general will. What I'll remember most about you, however, is your humility and willingness to learn from others, both in the classroom and at the game table. Congratulations.
Bodhi, you've been that rare student who is both incredibly serious about history, but also being decidedly lighthearted in class. Your mischievous sense of humor has been one of the things that I've enjoyed the most about you, whether you're telling a joke in class or whether you're instigating thermonuclear war. Over your time at Bexley, you've taken 4 AP courses, 3 of our electives, and in all of them, you've made your mark. You are a most deserving recipient of the 2020 Social Studies Cup. Congratulations, and thank you so much.
The Photojournalism Cup is named for distinguished former Bexley High School English teacher, Sarah Path. The Bexley Education Foundation and Alumni Association still take calls from alumni who describe Mrs. Path as the best teacher they ever had, kindergarten through college. I was fortunate enough to have worked with Mrs. Path for a number of years and can add my voice to those who remember her as an amazing educator. The 2 outstanding recipients of this year's Photojournalism Cup are perfectly suited to carry forward Mrs. Path's extraordinary legacy. The young man and woman receiving this cup both joined Bexley as sophomores, and their many contributions have made Bexley significantly better every year. They have throughout their time on Bexley shown an eager willingness to volunteer for any and all tasks, from the trivial to the formidable. They both possess a tireless work ethic, and they are perfectionists, so I know that any time one of them takes on a task, it will be completed not only quickly, but also with painstaking care. They are both very kind individuals, putting others' needs first, always willing to extend a helping hand, gently encouraging others to do their best, assisting them wherever needed while maintaining the highest of expectations. It's indicative of their kind thoughtfulness that the first initiative they launched when they became executive editors was to make Bexley a more inclusive organization. They invited every staff member to take more ownership of our enterprise by opening up the decision-making process on key issues to all members, not just editors, thereby increasing everyone's investment in Bexley. They are both excellent teachers. They have taught innumerable mini lessons on the use of our yearbook software and other topics with clarity, patience, their preparation and masterful knowledge of the subject matter evident in each lesson they taught. Their infectious laughs and unfailingly upbeat attitudes and sunny dispositions are a constant source of inspiration to their classmates and to me. They have each, over the course of their 3 years on Bexley, put in countless hours, taking photographs, editing spreads, meeting on their own after school and on weekends to come up with ingenious plans for our team. Unlike every other Bexley High School senior, their school year does not end with graduation. They will selflessly dedicate the next couple of weeks to putting the finishing touches on the yearbook. It's the only way I sleep well at night, knowing that they will be on the job wrapping up the yearbook. Last year's outgoing editors made keen observations in their interview notes about this young man and woman. About the woman, they drew a heart and wrote the word love. And about the young man, they wrote, can do anything. And that really describes them both, full of love and kindness and possessing the ability to complete any task. They are each remarkable people, and I wish I could keep them on my personal staff as life coaches. This year's Sarah Paff Photojournalism Cup goes to Julia Miracle and Will Feldman. Congratulations.
Bonjour.
Hola.
Alwete. We are part of the World Languages Department at Bexley High School.
I'm Sherry Higgins, French teacher.
I'm Lisa Klepper, Spanish teacher.
And I'm Jackie Lund, Latin teacher.
We are honored to present the Dr. Barbara Romanzik World Language Cup Award this year to an incredible senior in the class of 2020. The Romanzik Award is given to a senior student who has pursued 6 or more years of French, Spanish, or Latin coursework. In order to achieve this, a student will have needed to study multiple languages.
This year's recipient has a combined 12 years of world language coursework, 1 year of French, 1 year ancient Greek via independent study, 5 years of Spanish, and 5 years of Latin.
Over the course of this student's world language career, they have demonstrated a love for languages and linguistics that goes above and beyond what is expected in the classroom. They have pursued multiple avenues of study to expand their linguistic horizons, and we couldn't be more proud to present this award this year.
This award winner comes to class every day with a smile on their face, a positive attitude, and an eagerness to learn more. This student eats languages like pancakes for breakfast. This winner brings such gusto to our foreign language classroom, always at the ready to volunteer or help someone. As the only senior in a class of underclassmen, this student served seamlessly and subtly as a phenomenal role model. I am extremely proud of this year's recipient for their perseverance, participation, and powerful performance. The 2020 recipient is
an awesome Spanish student. From the beginning of the year until the end, this student has not only shown great respect to myself, but also their peers. This student's enthusiasm for language shines through from the inside out, and it has been a joy and a pleasure to teach. This student has practiced excellence, respect, and honor in all of their work, and has always provided our class with creative projects and presentations. Additionally, this year's winner was one of the few in the state to earn the coveted Seal of Biliteracy, a difficult award to earn as students must demonstrate high levels of proficiency in all 4 skills. Bravo! The possibilities are endless with this student's hard work and dedication to succeed in life. The 2020 recipient is
so eager and driven to pursue Latin study that they worked hard to complete Latin 1, 2, and 3 all in their sophomore year in order to be on track to take the AP course this year. Early in the year, it became clear to me that this student had an incredible knack for grammar and vocabulary, and transitioning to reading college-level Latin was a snap. Only reinforcing this success, this student earned a silver medal on the National Latin exam this year, competing with advanced students across the nation and performing in the top 15%. Over the year, I advised this student in an independent study course in elementary Greek and watched as they earned a bronze medal on the National Greek exam. I've been impressed at every turn with their hard work, and I am so excited to see where their next steps take them in their pursuit of language study. We are pleased to announce that the 2020 Romanzik Cup Award recipient is
Miles Sanford.
On behalf of Bexley High School, I would like to recognize Joanna Howson, Student Council President 2019-2020. Joanna Howson has been a model of perseverance. She ran for class president as a freshman and lost. But she learned, worked extremely hard, and won her future elections. She made herself completely indispensable. Her accomplishments are numerous, from implementing 2 of the best homecoming dances we've ever had, to opening up dialogue on new policies, and mentoring and encouraging younger students. At a time this year when there's been so much that's been up in the air and stressful, Joanna's leadership has been a reassuring constant. I have no doubt that she will take these lessons and take this leadership and excel at the University of Miami. We will miss you very greatly, Joanna. You've done a fantastic job. And from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for all that you've done, all your leadership.
The Faculty Award honors a student who excels across all academic areas. The staff gathered here will highlight our recipients' great contributions and qualities to the classrooms and hallways of Bexley High School.
When I stepped in for Mrs. Resnick, there was one person who stood out to me immediately. Yes, I could tell this person was extremely bright, and yes, I could tell this person was really going to work hard in class. But really most impressive to me was how this person connected and engaged and made me feel really welcome when I joined Bexley. So for that reason and all the other reasons I mentioned, I really believe this person is truly deserving of this award. Congratulations and best wishes.
This student is always smiling and eager to learn, and his quality of work is exceptional. In 9th grade, his Atticus Finch Law Firm website was so well done that it looked like a professional with years of experience had put it together. He is not only talented, but works to make our school and community a better place. It was an absolute pleasure to have him in class.
First and foremost, this student is one of the kindest, most cheerful individuals I've ever known. Something I really appreciate about him is that when he asks how you're doing, he's genuinely interested in the answer. His generous spirit inspires everyone around him, and he certainly brightened every one of my days this year with his positivity. In English class, he is a sophisticated thinker and writer who is nevertheless humble about his extraordinary abilities. Most of all, what I value about this student is how hard he works to make the lives of others better. He is very deserving of this award.
I've known this student for 4 years now for his role in Key Club. His leadership skills are something I truly admire. In our executive board meetings, sometimes his fellow board meetings will get a little bit off task. This person will laugh and joke around with them, and then he will gently guide them to getting back to the main point and the objectives that he would like to achieve. Whoever takes over his role next year are going to have mighty big shoes to fill, and I will really miss him.
This young man is so kind, caring, and respectful of others, everybody around him. I love his insightful questions, particularly in class discussions, but really in laboratory where we can have fun. I know that I'm a better person knowing this person over the last 4 years, and congratulations.
For years, I'd been bemoaning Bexley's lack of a tech wizard, a silently cursing Torch in a friendly way, because they always had a surplus of tech folk. We needed someone to launch our website, establish a social media presence, and do cool graphics for us. And one day, over 3 years ago, lo and behold, a Bexley staff member marches a student up to the circulation desk and proclaims, "I found a tech person from Bexley." Standing in front of me was this bright-eyed freshman lad with one of the widest, most winning smiles I'd ever seen. He joined Bexley the next year, became our youngest editor ever, and transformed our program and helped make it into one that rivals any in the nation. One anecdote about his personality, part of him that generates that wide, winning smile. Last year, Bexley had a bonding potluck dinner at the McDowell House. Someone came up with the idea of everyone complimenting one another. This gentleman's face lit up. He enthusiastically volunteered to go first, and proceeded to pay everyone the most genuine and uplifting compliments that I'd ever heard. And that's who he is. Always upbeat, quick to laugh, a delight to work with, loving toward others, and someone who can be relied upon to swiftly complete the most challenging of tasks at the drop of a hat. I'm going to miss you next year, buddy.
Today, we are thrilled to award the first 2020 Faculty Award to Will Feldman. Congratulations.
And now we will present the second Faculty Award.
It was an absolute pleasure to work with this student both in middle school and high school. This student always came to class with a snack in hand, even having just come from a lunch period, has earned a self-appointed grad degree, and is always bright, always witty, very funny, incredibly respectful, humble, and finishes every class with a personal handshake.
It was really fun to be this student's teacher. I never knew what he would bring to class each day. Whether it was his newest nickname, a Hershey bar he would leave on my desk, or the weekly sharing of a short story he was writing with sound effects during our Monday talks, he made the class better by being in it. He's very creative, and he used his creativity to give gifts to his teachers his freshman year. For me, he wrote a poem about our class. One line from the poem read, "We go on interesting adventures, never knowing nor seeking what the future may bring." I know this student's future is bright. I've enjoyed being part of his journey and watching all of his accomplishments these past 4 years.
The energy of any room changes for the better when this person walks in. His enthusiasm for learning and his wish to build up and encourage his peers in all of their endeavors make him an asset in any classroom. Not a day goes by in class that he isn't laughing or making everyone around him laugh. I also appreciate his desire to do the absolute best in everything he attempts, and he has the grace and maturity to acknowledge the people in his life who help him succeed. He is very deserving of this award.
It has truly been such a joy and honor to teach the student Spanish this year. Not only does the student work excellently in Spanish class, the student has also succeeded in many aspects of school. I have seen the student grow and take on challenges time and time again throughout the school year, meanwhile smiling with a positive attitude and a friendly hola any time of day. I wish nothing but the best for this student, and I know the future is bright.
The words that come to mind to describe this young man are integrity, self-motivation, definitely an enthusiastic learner, and very much an inquisitive mind. He has the ability to bring all of his science classes together and make sense of the natural world. And I love that he would always stay late after class with the question, "So I've been thinking about," and we would move this into usually second period. He could use a little bit of work on his fun puns, but I do hope that he returns someday as a scientist in residence to Bexley High School.
I am so proud of this exceptional student. His positivity and kindness brighten every space. He gave one of the best National Honor Society induction speeches. He captivated the audience with his Popeye's chicken sandwich metaphor. He wowed me and everyone watching when he competed in poetry out loud. I know this student will continue to accomplish great things in the future.
The student certainly makes every group in which he's involved more entertaining. People smile when he walks in a room, and their day gets a little bit brighter. In his third year as a member of vocal ensemble, he has been a leader vocally in the tenor section, and this year served as president. It is so important that the person other students are listening to and following is worthy of leading. I couldn't ask for a better example than him. For example, this March, he led his choir in a national level performance in Milwaukee and immediately left to represent Bexley in another event back in Ohio. I don't know that any other student could have managed that much responsibility in a span of 12 hours. He is whip smart and has a fantastic sense of humor. There have been times when he is the only student who really gets the point that I'm making in class, and we enjoy a shared smile when that happens. This is related to his constant engagement and sense of purpose in a rehearsal. He is incredibly dedicated to whatever group in which he is involved and fiercely loyal. Students recognize when someone has a strong sense of character and responsibility among their peers, and they see this in him. They respect him because he does the hard work of showing up and because he is a constant, steady presence. I will greatly miss his energy, positivity, beautiful singing voice, and warm daily hugs next year. I can't wait to see how he changes the world just as he changed the choral department and Bexley High School for the better.
This young man's resonant voice, his unique and agreeable speaking cadence, and his wide-ranging expressiveness that can be playful, serious, or stirring, along with his good-hearted and zany sense of humor, has been entertaining the student body every morning for the past 2 years. The past 2 years, this same gentleman wowed the school Poetry Out Loud judges with his commanding stage presence and poised, impassioned recitations. And this year, he dazzled judges and audiences at every level on the way to capturing the state title. Though he's tall, handsome, studly, and a gifted performer, it is not solely by his rich natural talents that he succeeded on the Poetry Out Loud stage. He is an extraordinarily self-motivated and disciplined individual who spent countless concentrated hours alone, meditating on the meaning of his poems, memorizing and practicing them, without the promise of course credit, or a grade, or a wage. Several times a week for months, he mustered the courage to stand by himself on stage in front of 4 exacting coaches, who alternated effusive praise with severe fault-finding, and who peppered him with sometimes contradictory advice. He internalized the best of the feedback he received, demonstrating remarkable growth from week to week, and finally arriving at interpretations and performances that were entirely his own, and which best conveyed the meaning and spirit of his poems. He possesses a shrewd intelligence, which guided him to choose 3 remarkably disparate poems that each required vastly different recitation styles, and which allowed him to showcase the entire range of his formidable speech skills. He is a modern Renaissance man who is an absolute pleasure to work with.
This morning, we are thrilled to award the second 2020 Faculty Award to Mr. Austin Smith.